The story begins in a burning village where the villagers are running away as the guards are being slaughtered by three orc brothers. They think that they have successfully taken the village, so they start celebrating. But a man walks towards them, and they wonder who he is. He pulls out his sword, introducing himself as an adventurer named Asahi. They look down on him, calling him a pipsqueak, but Asahi claims that it would be in their best interest not to attack him. One of them charges at him, and it looks like Asahi doesn't know how to defend himself. However, the orc suddenly gets impaled by a rock spike that comes out of the ground. An adventurer named Maya appears, jumping around and using a skill that unleashes lightning, causing one of the orcs to explode. The remaining orc tries to run away, but Maya jumps in front of him, causing him to be terrified. In a flashback, we learn that Asahi was involved in a car accident while trying to save a girl. He claims that his body moves on its own, but he realizes that he is now looking at the scene where he seems to have died. Asahi is happy to see that the girls survived, thinking that he just got a happy ending, but he wants to play more video games, so he hopes that they have video games in the afterlife. Asahi wonders how the people around him will react, especially his big sister Maya. At that moment, light appears in front of him, pulling him in. Asahi falls from the sky, and he finds himself in a mysterious place with a castle and a dragon. As he walks around the village, he realizes that he was sent to a world that is like an RPG game. He bumps into a man who tells him to be more careful, and he learns that the people in that area also speak Japanese. Asahi sees the shops in the village, and they are familiar to him because he's seen them in video games before, and he is excited, thinking that he's been reincarnated into a video game. Asahi takes a picture with his phone, wanting to upload it, but he realizes that the place has no signal. He thinks that he will succeed in the world because he has plenty of experience with RPG games. Asahi goes to a pawn shop trying to sell his phone, but the old lady doesn't even know what it is. He ends up selling it to her and buying some light armor and a sword, wanting to prioritize agility. With his gear prepared, Asahi goes to the Adventurers Guild, thinking that it is the next step. The clerk asks him what quest he wants, but Asahi admits it's his first time, so the clerk gives him an adventure registration form. Asahi completes the form, and the clerk recommends a super easy quest that involves hunting some killer rabbits, and he accepts it. He goes outside thinking that his new life has just begun, but after leaving the town, he suddenly encounters a huge dragon. It starts flying, breathing fire. As it chases him around, he dodges the dragon's attacks, thinking the game is too difficult, and he manages to hide from the dragon. While hiding, he checks status, wondering if he was reincarnated with an overpowered skill, but it seems his only skill is to throw stones, and his base stats are completely terrible. He gets blown away, and he thinks about fighting the dragon, throwing a stone at its direction, but the stone doesn't even reach. The dragon flies towards him, causing him to fall to the ground. But at that moment, Asahi thinks about his big sister, and he calls out her name, triggering a skill that causes Maya to appear in the world. The dragon attacks Maya, causing an explosion, but Maya manages to dodge the attack as she realizes that she has the power to protect Asahi. The dragon charges at Maya, but she blows it away with a single punch. Asahi is surprised to see his sister, thinking she must be an illusion, but Maya suddenly hugs him, telling him that she misses him. She carefully examines him and concludes that he really is her little brother. Seeing her obsessive nature, Asahi is also convinced she is his sister. He wonders how Maya ended up in the world, and she reveals that Asahi is currently in a coma, but during his sleep, he keeps on talking about living in another world, so she immediately knew that his spirit was in another world. She had repeatedly bashed her head against the wall, trying to enter the same world, and she somehow ended up there. Asahi is relieved to hear that he is still alive, and he wonders why Maya is so overpowered in this world. Maya believes that it's because her love for him is so strong, but aside, he doesn't think it's a good explanation. Maya says that it doesn't matter, telling him to go with her. Asahi thinks that his life in this world is over, thinking she will take him back to the real world, but Maya has no idea how to get back, surprising him that she followed him into another world without a plan. Maya says that she just wanted to make sure he was safe, and everything else was secondary. Maya is excited to start a new life with him. Back in the present, Maya unleashes a powerful blast from her hand that vaporizes the last orc. Asahi calls her merciless, but Maya claims that the orc brothers didn't deserve mercy. He looks around, realizing that Maya has a point, thinking that it must be because the orc brothers killed so many villagers, but Maya reveals it's because they looked down on her little brother, so they didn't deserve mercy. She looks at Asahi's face and realizes he has a scrape on his cheek, so she becomes upset, thinking that she doesn't deserve to be his big sister. Maya offers him an elixir, but he thinks that they should save it for the final boss. He claims that abyss spit should be enough to heal the scrape, so Maya offers to lick his body. Asahi becomes scared, saying that she misinterpreted him, but she lunges toward him, telling him not to be embarrassed. The villagers watch the siblings, wondering if they are now safe. The child tells them that Asahi killed the orcs, so they praise him, calling him a mighty hero. Asahi thinks Maya deserves all the credit, but she is happy to see the villagers cheering for him. They return to the Adventurers Guild, where the clerk congratulates Asahi for ranking up to the ogre class. We learn that he jumped up multiple ranks after defeating the orcs, and she gives Asahi his overclass badge, saying that it's like an identity document, so he shouldn't give it to anyone else, adding that falsifying one's rank is a crime, so he shouldn't pretend to be stronger than he actually is, because the crime is punishable by death. And Asahi gets worried because he only ranked up because he took credit for his sister's work, so he begs Maya to pretend to be weak and make it seem like he is the strong one. Maya agrees while Asahi asks about her stats, but she grabs his hand to show him her measurements. Asahi becomes flustered, explaining that he wasn't referring to her body measurements, telling her how to open her status window, but Asahi can't see anything, wondering what's wrong. But he realizes that her stats are so high that the values have stretched off the screen. He falls to his knees, wondering why Maya is so strong while he is so weak. Asahi tells Maya not to show it to anyone, and that her stats will be kept as their secret. Maya likes this idea, wanting to know his stats, like the number of beauty marks on his body. But at that moment they hear a commotion, and they see the strongest party of adventurers walking through the crowd. Asahi sees the lady from the pawn shop, and she explains that they just had a send-off parade for them because they are on a quest to defeat the Demon King. Asahi thinks that the Demon King must be the final boss, which they must defeat in order to return to the real world. Maya wants to defeat the Demon King, but the lady claims that she will need more experience, and we learn that Siegfried, the leader of the party, is currently in the dragon class. They hear a drunk man named Delvin saying that there is nothing special about Siegfried as he kicks a stool. The shopkeeper tries to calm him down, but he grabs his axe and destroys a table. The other people know him, and they know that it will be difficult to stop him, since Delvin is an ogre-class adventurer, but the old lady tells everyone that Asahi is also in this class, so the crowd turns to him thinking that he can stop Delvin. Asahi becomes nervous, thinking he's about to be exposed as a fraud. Delton calls Asahi a pepsqueak, triggering Maya, but he stops her, saying that she could end up killing him. Asahi comes up with a plan, whispering it to Maya. She doesn't want to follow it, but he tells her he will do anything she wants, and she instantly agrees. Asahi walks toward Delvin, trying to act cool, as Delvin charges at him, but he swings his arm and the floor shatters in front of him. Delvin freaks out seeing this, and he runs away, fearing for his life. The villagers are impressed by Asahi, but it was actually Maya who broke the floor. As they walk away, Asahi thinks that the plan worked well, but Maya reminds him about their deal, and she lunges at him. Elsewhere, we see a mysterious girl taking out multiple dragons, but she is bored since they were no challenge for her, and it seems that she detected Maya's overwhelming aura and has been looking for her. We meet a demon named Kilmaria, who seems to have taken notice of them. She fights against a party of famous adventurers, and they wonder how she is so strong. The knight charges at her, but she blasts him with her flames, and the man falls to the ground, but she is disappointed because they all just lost after one attack, and she wishes to find a worthy opponent. We see Asahi training against a slime, and we see he is really still a novice, barely managing to defeat the slime and earning 1 XP. But his sister, on the other hand, uses her fire magic to wipe out the entire field of slimes, earning 100,000 XP. But she is proud of Asahi for his accomplishment and rewards him with a hug. As they head to town, Maya gets a cold, and Asahi says it must be because of her outfit, giving her his vest. But she suggests it would be even better if he shared his body warmth.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Back in town, Asahi thinks he shouldn't always rely on his sister, so he decides to look for a quest he can do himself. Maya wakes up glad to be with Asahi in this new world. She can't wait to spend more time with him, but she suddenly notices that his presence is gone. She goes to check his room and finds a note saying he has gone out. She checks his bed and finds that it's still warm, so Asahi should still be nearby, but she jumps onto his bed and gets distracted by his scent. Meanwhile, at the guild, he asks for a quest, but since he is at the overclass rank, the clerk suggests a troll hunting mission or stealing a wyvern's egg. But Asahi is shocked by their difficulty rankings, knowing he has no chance to complete them on his own. He tries to ask for an easier quest that's close to town, but the clerk thinks the low-level missions would be too easy for him. Asahi says he wants to remember how it felt as a new adventurer, suggesting he wants to stay close to the town in case he needs to rush back to protect it. The clerk buys his story and offers him an easy mushroom gathering quest which only has a difficulty rating of 2, and he is glad he finally has a quest he can do on his own. The clerk thinks it would be no challenge for him, but he says all quests are important no matter how small they might seem. He heads into the forest and starts picking the rainbow mushrooms. He finds a spot where they are planning to collect, but he wonders why there is no one else around. He suddenly finds a sign warning that there are bears in the area. He gets worried but thinks that it's probably a rare encounter. But he hears something, and as he turns around he finds a bear, and it starts to chase him. As he runs, he thinks he will have to deal with it by himself since his sister isn't around. He uses his throwing skill, throwing one of the mushrooms into the bear's mouth, but it turns out to have no effect. Asahi is suddenly saved by a blast of fire. He gets blown away but lands in a familiar place. He recognizes the feeling, so he thanks his big sister for saving him once again, but it turns out to be Kilmaria, who is surprised to be called his big sister. Asahi jumps away, but it seems Kilmaria didn't mind being called his big sister, and she takes a liking to him. Asahi says he made a mistake, but thanks her for saving him. However, they are surrounded by even more bears. But Kilmaria tells him not to worry, saying they are weaklings. As she throws him up into the air using her flames, she blows the bears away and easily defeats them all. She catches Asahi and claims that she came to test her strength on the bears, thanking him for being her bait. The ground starts to shake, and the field boss appears wanting revenge for its fallen allies, and Asahi wonders how he got into such a mess when he just wanted to gather some mushrooms. The bear starts charging up an attack, and Asahi thinks he is going to die, but Kilmaria pulls him over as the bear launches his energy blast. There is a huge explosion, but it's not enough to break through Kilmaria's barrier. Asahi wonders why she saved him again, but she says that's what a big sister would do. She prepares to retaliate, summoning an enormous flame and attacking with her crimson flame skill. There is an enormous explosion, and when the smoke clears, the bear has been turned to ashes. Kilmaria comments on how boring it was since the bear couldn't even survive one attack. Asahi wonders if she could be even stronger than his sister, and he asks her who she is. Kilmaria reveals she is actually one of the 6 demon generals in the Demon King's army, which causes Asahi to panic. However, she says she has no interest in weaklings, so he doesn't have to worry about getting attacked. Asahi is relieved to hear this. Kilmaria says she is looking for an adventurer, and it turns out she is looking for him because he ranked up in the guild so quickly. She heard that he defeated the Orc brothers and even killed a dragon with a single punch, so she wants to fight him to the death. Asahi realizes he is in trouble, so he tries to sneak away, but he accidentally drops his overclass token which has his name on it, and Kilmaria realizes he is the one she has been looking for, and she apologizes for calling him weak. But back at the end, Maya realizes something is happening to Asahi. Asahi runs away as Kilmaria flies after him, saying they should fight. She is about to catch him, but a pillar suddenly bursts out of the ground. Asahi is blown away, but is caught by his sister. He is glad to see her, and Kilmaria wonders who she is. Maya explains she felt something was wrong and thinks Kilmaria was trying to seduce Asahi, pointing out her revealing outfit. Although she can relate to the feeling of wanting to jump onto Asahi.
Whoa, 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 hey, 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 hey!
Kilmaria gets annoyed. Maya is interrupting her fight with Asahi, so she charges at her. Maya blocks the attack, and they are both surprised to see the others still standing. Asahi wonders who is stronger, and Kilmaria realizes that all the Asahi's feats actually belong to Maya. She gets excited to have a real fight, and the two proceed to exchange blows, causing destruction throughout the forest. Kilmaria lands an attack, but Maya returns with her own blow, smashing Kilmaria to the ground. Kilmaria is surprised that such a human even existed. She prepares to go all out, gathering an enormous ball of flame. Asahi worries for his sister as Kilmaria launches her attack, but Maya counters it with her cyclone skill, and Kilmaria also gets blown away. She wonders how she lost and tells Maya she should finish her off. Maya prepares to end her, but Asahi gets in the way. Maya thinks he wants to get the final blow to get the XP, but he thinks they should spare her because she isn't a bad person, and she even saved his life twice. Kilmaria thinks he is taking pity on her, but he says that sometimes it's okay for little bro to take care of his sister, so they let her go, and they head back to town. Asahi offers to cook to thank his sister, and he is impressed that she was able to defeat a demon general by herself. However, she suddenly pretends to be exhausted from her fight, saying she is out of mana, and asking him to carry her back to town. In the following story, Asahi works hard to reach level 10 by finishing the tutorial. Maya is surprised that Asahi's level is increased so slowly. After discussion, they discover that only monsters that Asahi personally defeats can increase his experience points. In order for Asahi to raise his level as quickly as possible, Maya proposes that she control the monsters and then let Asahi defeat them, which is refused by Asahi. Then, even if it is to raise his level, he doesn't want to bully a monster that doesn't have the ability to resist. In his opinion, slowly leveling up is the fun of the game. Maya doesn't find any point in leveling up because no matter what monster she encounters, she can end the battle in one blow. Maya's words are really a great blow to Asahi. Although he is weak, he does not want to increase his level by cheating, because Asahi keeps checking his stats. Maya feels bored as she prepares to push Asahi down. Asahi casts a skill capable of escaping in battle. Unexpectedly, his actions arouse Maya's fighting spirit. The more the prey resists, the more excited Maya gets.
Oh, not good.
Asahi wants to continue using his skill to escape, but he runs out of his mana, causing him to be unable to use any skills. After that, Asahi comes to the Adventurers Guild. He doesn't want to rely on his sister all the time and wants to try teaming up with other people. Joining a squad is also one of the joys in another world. Team members can cooperate with each other in battles and go on adventures in a variety of places. If he is lucky, he may even have a romantic love story with the female team members. The reception lady notices that Asahi wants to find teammates and leads him to the bulletin board where the team information is displayed. She suggests that Asahi form a well-balanced team like the clan Balmonk. Siegfried and his teammates have a clear-cut division, and they are well in tune with each other, which is the ideal team composition. Asahi admires Siegfried and is curious about his current situation. The reception lady secretly tells him that the clan Balmonk was defeated by a mysterious man and has fled back to the royal capital. Asahi is very shocked. It also makes him aware of the risk of teaming up with others, and he is now hesitant to part with Maya. While wandering the street, he finds several hooligans bullying a drunk man. Asahi picks up stones and throws them at the hooligans, intending to attract the attention of the hooligans so that the drunk man can find an opportunity to run away. But he never expects that this drunk man is very powerful and easily defeats the hooligans. After interacting with the drunk man, Asahi is surprised to find that he is Siegfried. After losing to the mysterious man, Siegfried becomes very upset. He completely loses confidence and even begins to regret becoming an adventurer, drinking every day to relieve his emotion. Asahi comforts Siegfried, saying that although he was defeated in battle, he gained a friendship with his teammates. Siegfried thinks Asahi is naive, reminding him not to have illusions about his companions. His three teammates are all very strange. One is addicted to the host clubs, one is very arrogant, and the other suffers from social phobia and does not say a word. Since the mission to fight the Demon King failed, the clan Balmonk has been disbanded. Asahi has a positive attitude. He thinks they must have protected each other during their adventures, which can be considered a very good memory. Hearing this, Siegfried is convinced, and he decides to cheer himself up. After that, Asahi returns to the Adventurers Guild and decides to choose a team that is recruiting members. Unexpectedly, the reception lady takes the opportunity to give him a task to fight a group of wyverns that are attacking the town. Because this is an emergency, she sends Asahi directly outside the city. As the wyvern is about to attack Asahi, Kilmaria protects him. The reason why she came to find Asahi is that she wants to return his badge and defeat Maya. At this time, a group of wyverns attacks them. After receiving the news, Maya arrives and helps Asahi complete his quest. Kilmaria desperately wants to defeat Maya. She kidnaps Asahi and threatens Maya to accept her challenge. Maya does not allow anyone to hurt Asahi, and the two get into a fierce fight. During this time, a wyvern captures Asahi. In order to protect Asahi, the two girls temporarily reach a reconciliation. One is responsible for fighting the dragon, and the other is responsible for catching Asahi in the air. After solving the problem, Kilmaria once again holds Asahi hostage. Unexpectedly, Asahi escapes with his skill. Kilmaria thinks the siblings are very interesting and decides to let them go for the time being, through this mission to fight the wyverns. Asahi understands the importance of Maya to him. Having a sister is enough for him, and he doesn't need to team up with anyone else. After a few days, Asahi has run out of money for staying in an inn, and Tanya noticed it right away. So instead of staying and wasting money at an inn, she tells him to buy a new home instead. Tanya was totally all set and ready to show off that Guild even provided with information on estates. But her smile gave Asahi a deja vu as she put up his name on the contract. He got his name on a job to purify some evil from that house, so Asahi tells Maya about their new job, and Maya knows him very well and that he's afraid of ghosts. Maya was positive and looking forward to owning the house by getting rid of evil spirit, but there were many priests who tried the same thing but failed completely. Asahi tells that he's not afraid of anything, but a single thunder did the job of exposing him. Maya knows him very well, so it was no point for him to pretend. But as they arrived and Asahi grabbed the door, his life force was sucked away by the evil spirits. There, Maya thought of giving it a try after seeing his pain, and upon her touch that evil spirits was having a delighted food. But that thing did not know anything about Maya's power, as that spirit was just banished by the overwhelming source he tried to touch. When entering the house, they saw it had some decent furniture, but a chair began to shake and hurt Asahi. Maya instantly healed him with their potion, but it was only the beginning, as Asahi got aimed for the second, and another potion was wasted for the third time, and by that time they wasted all of their expensive potion for such a minor thing. So Maya calls out that spirit who's messing with them, seeing it. Asahi got scared, and Maya starts to cling onto him again. Spirit got angry for being ignored, but Maya cancelled out his attack. Feeling Maya's tremendous power, that Spirit used some kind of magic to make Maya's body under his control. Things were getting really bad, so Asahi tries to bring her back to her senses by talking into her interest. But suddenly Kilmaria found them there. Asahi gave a quick insight on the situation, and Kilmaria was all ready to beat some sense into her. But Asahi stopped her before she destroyed the house. But situation of that time made Kilmaria think that Asahi wants to have some pretty time, and seeing them so comfortable, Maya was releasing every ounce of her deadly aura. They can't fight head-to-head battle, so Kilmaria found a solution for that with an arm wrestling match. Even though it was an arm wrestling match, they were so near to end the house, but in front of Maya's strength, Kilmaria lost yet again. Then Maya just pinned down Asahi, and seeing her, he couldn't control himself and became angry out of worry for Maya. His scaring towards Maya made her kick the junk out of her body in an instant and started getting all clingy on Asahi. Later, she reveals that she was just acting because even though that spirit was inside her, he wasn't able to control her, and they just left Kilmaria unconscious right there. Asahi received a new guild quest to explore the dungeon and report back if it is safe for other low-ranking adventurers. Normally, this would have only been available to high-ranking adventurers, but thanks to Maya powers, Asahi rose through the guild's ranks. So this dungeon was discovered due to some sort of fighting between two overpowered people, but no one knew it was Kilmaria and Maya. So Asahi went off on this quest alone, this time without Maya. But there was a monster that had his eyes on Asahi, but Maya just scared it away with her glance, and once again Asahi's attempt to complete this quest alone was unsuccessful. So in the dungeon, Asahi tries to be a pro because he had played many RPG games and thought he knew everything about classic trap, but then he himself activated a trap. Thankfully, he was saved by Maya. After that, many dead soldiers of the dungeon appear, and Maya was about to blow them off, but luckily Asahi stopped her in time. Or else she would have blown up the entire dungeon, and Maya took it the wrong way again because of her brother complex. So to avoid getting buried in the dungeon, Maya used her combat skill to take them out like a champ. Then in the middle of the dungeon, they found the throne, but there was no sign of the boss. There were some baby bears playing. So upon his close inspection, Asani made the decision that no one should enter the dungeon because of its weak structure. And as they were on their way back, Maya got some heat on him as she tried being naughty again, so Asahi was irritated by her behavior. Because he was hungry, Maya took off in a hurry to hunt something, but right after she left, many of those monsters reappeared to get their paws on Asahi. So he ran for his life and returned to the town. But there, a girl stopped Asahi to know some location, and on top of that, she would love to have Asahi company, but he just got some dangerous vibes from her. It made him be on his guard, but it turns out it was Kilmaria, and she wanted to explore the human town. But showing the demon around the town would have been dangerous, but Asahi just trusted Kilmaria. So he took her around the town and showed horses and the bridges to cross the river. Kilmaria pities that humans are weak. At the sunset, Asahi took her to the perfect spot for the view, but he was still worried for his behavior with Maya, that he got angry on her, so Kilmaria asks him to become a demon and leave Maya behind. But his feelings for Maya are still so strong that he can't even think about something like that. So they ended up at the guild to report about the dungeon to Tanya. Looking at them made her angry, and Kilmaria just added fuel to the fire when she left, unable to figure out what had just happened. Asahi and Kilmaria goes to a restaurant for a nice human-type meal, and the drink there hits Kilmaria so hard that she forgets what money is, so all the money Asahi has now is spent down. Just then they ran into Siegfried again on their way, and as he shook hands with Kilmaria, he felt a sense of death that made his body weak. In the end, Asahi led the way to their home, and Kilmaria had a wild idea to play a prank on Maya by pretending to date. But their plan failed as she instantly recognized Kilmaria. She had prepared some nice food, but they had already ate at the restaurant. But a snap of Kilmaria magic made them hungry again. Maya and Kilmaria are always at odds that she declined to give her food, so she started throwing tantrums like a kid, and to stop her, Maya backed off and gave her a delicious homemade meal. Kilmaria couldn't help but praised as she munched down everything. The next day, Asahi was slowly leveling up by defeating monsters when a giant werewolf got in the way and was blown up by Maya for even attempting to touch Asahi's pure and pale skin. Maya saw Asahi pretty but minor scratch on his arm and wanted to lick it off. Asahi barely got away from her but stumbled upon a girl at the gate. She was a kind girl, as she heals Asahi for his humble behavior, but her party still treats her very rudely. Maya again caught up to Asahi, but the wound she wanted to lick has already been healed. For their daily routine, Asahi gets to the guild for any quest and gets the info from Tanya about the newly discovered dungeon and its treasure that caused a panic among adventurers. But all of them returned saying that the monsters were above their limits of handling. But there was a party that didn't make it out, and it was none other than Sophie and her party. They were lucky that Asahi and Maya listened to Tanya's request to save them. But Sophie got the idea of Asahi being a hero that she long desired to serve from her childhood. Her mother had told her about a hero who was going to appear kind, strong, and humble, so she found Asahi at a restaurant and told him everything about how she thinks of him as a hero. But seeing a cute girl for the first time, he just complied with her imagination. But the problem was whether or not Maya would agree to let Sophie join in the party. But she was all down to Sophie because she admires Asahi. Then Sophie's party came all the way there to blame her for their defeat, but she spoke out loud about their own mistakes and weaknesses and took Asahi's side, thinking he would defeat them all. Then as they were about to attack, Maya used a smoke bomb to hide the fact that she took them out and vanished with Asahi. Then Asahi got to the guild while Maya was in the middle of a fight with Kilmaria. Sophie found Asahi again and kept insisting on joining his party. Looking at them, Tanya just signed the killing quest for Asahi as he knows a healer. That quest was about killing giant bees, and Asahi don't hold that high-level power to get them, so he only uses his one skill throwing rock to knock them out. Sophie thought it was strange that he didn't finish it off, but Asahi got away by making it up that he didn't want to kill carelessly. She admired him even more, and then ran off somewhere. After some time, she returned with a huge problem tailing her. She provoked the queen bee for Asahi to kill it. They both were on a run for their lives, and unfortunately Sophie just tripped and fell down. Asahi knew he had to at least try to save Sophie, but a big boulder appeared out of nowhere. Sophie thought it was Asahi work, and went to submit the proof of their success to the guild. As she goes away, Kilmaria and Maya get there. It was all because of their mini-fight that Asahi went back home while Sophie returns to guild and turns in the proof of their success. She still waits for Asahi even at night, but he didn't come, and admiring Sophie was still there waiting for him. Seeing this, Asahi couldn't reject her determined desire to join them and agrees to accept her into his party. Further, we see Asahi's childhood. He was attacked by a dog. Maya was protecting her little brother Asahi, and she wanted Asahi to run away. Asahi thought the dog is attacking Maya, but he just wanted to play with her. Maya was unharmed, and she saw Asahi crying. Then she learned that he was crying because he wasn't able to protect his big sister. After that, we see Tanya again, who reported to Asahi about an emergency quest. The demon army attacked a small village, and some of the villagers escaped in time. The villagers hope that hero will come to the rescue them again. Then a Cyclops general attacked. Suddenly Maya appeared and killed him instantly. The monsters were afraid of Maya, and they immediately fled the village. However, Asahi spotted monsters that couldn't escape in time. Asahi wanted to wipe them out with his sword, but they started dancing for their lives. Asahi was hypnotized by the monsters' dance. Suddenly, he stopped his attack and hugged his big sister. He said he loves Maya. After that, Asahi hit his head and came to his senses. Maya tried to kiss him, but he stopped her. Maya was depressed that Asahi was going back to normal. Maya had a great idea, and she prevented Asahi from defeating the monsters. Maya ordered the monsters to repeat their dance. She threatened the monsters to hypnotize Asahi again. As a result, Asahi was hypnotized, acted like a little boy who loves his big sister. Maya was glad that she managed to hypnotize him in time. Then Asahi said he had a headache, and she let Asahi rest on her lap. Suddenly Asahi said that he wants to marry Maya when he grows up, which made Maya very happy. Suddenly a huge monster appeared from the demon army. Asahi stood in front of Maya and wanted to protect her from the monster. Asahi threw a rock, and his attack failed. Cyclops tried to attack Asahi, but Maya stopped his punch. She attacked the Cyclops with a powerful attack. Maya cheered up Asahi and said that he have his own strengths that makes him special. He said that he will become strong to protect her someday. Suddenly a meteorite hit the back of Asahi's head. Maya wanted to command the monsters to hypnotize him, but they were pulverized as well. Later on, Asahi woke up and didn't remember that he was acting like a little child. The next day, Asahi learned that Tanya got a day off. He was shocked to learn that she was on a date. He walked around the town and was surprised that she had a boyfriend. Suddenly a girl appeared, and Asahi found out that she is Tanya. He complimented her and asked about her date, and she introduced him to her little brother Roy. Asahi was surprised that Tanya is a big sister like Maya. Asahi learned that Roy is very shy. He was surprised that the two have different personality and recalled the personality of his sister. He learned that Roy was interested in adventure stories, so he introduced himself to him, and Roy was happy to meet Asahi. He said his sister talks about Asahi every day. Roy admired the hero, and Asahi felt embarrassed because in reality, Maya defeated all the monsters. After that, Tanya said that she wanted to look for escorts in the guild. Roy suggested asking Asahi. Asahi wanted to refuse, but he was mesmerized by Roy's innocent gaze, so he accepted to accompany the two on their dangerous journey. Later, they were riding on a carriage. Asahi wanted to talk to Roy, but he was very shy. Suddenly, a wyvern attacked them and shot at them a powerful breath of fire. Asahi was able to save the two in time, but the carriage drivers and the horse fled without them. As a result, Roy cried in fear, and Tanya believed that Asahi could easily defeat the wyvern. Asahi wanted to protect both of them and tried to slash the wyvern. Asahi couldn't cause any damage on it. Suddenly, the wyvern exploded, and the two siblings celebrated Asahi's victory. After the fight, Roy became sad. He was ashamed for being a weakling, but Asahi cheered him up and told him that he was a weakling in his childhood too. Tanya thanked him for saving them. After that, they wanted to walk back to town together, and Roy was happy to learn more about Asahi's stories. The wyvern was still alive and intended to kill the three, but Maya stopped the wyvern's attack and protected her little brother from the shadow. Seeing Asahi's progress, Maya made a cake specially for him. Then as the story continues, Asahi had completed a guild quest. But sadly, everything was done by Maya and Kilmaria. Well, if you don't know, she is a demon general, but disguised herself to be with Asahi and Maya. Anyway, this quest at least leveled up Asahi, which opened a light magic skill, and Asahi was all over it because he thought of it as a holy knight's power. Then a bull just got out of control, and Asahi tested his new skill on it, but his luck played with him again, as his light magic turns out to be a party trick. Asahi couldn't believe his luck that gave him a useless trick again, but Maya and Kilmaria comforted him, saying he can make light in a dark room, but their words pierced his heart like a pin. Then they arrived at the location of a criminal organization, but got stopped by two morons but got beaten up. Previously, when Asahi was at the guild, Tanya given him the job of eliminating a syndicate that was creating fake guild cards for its clients. Falsifying adventurer rank is a crime, so she asked Asahi to take care of it. But there was another gang like this one named Overdose, but another party was taking care of that, so Asahi got this gang to deal with. Then as the flashback was over, the gang were also gone, as Kilmaria and Maya took care of everything. Then their boss showed up and recognized Asahi, the famous ogre-class adventurer. Asahi was set to take him out, but Sophie found him, and this time she brought other villagers to witness Asahi's powers. Now Asahi's secret would be exposed if everyone sees that he's just a weakling. But Maya sharply assisted him from the background, and no one noticed it, so Asahi's secret was still safe. But not for too long, because the party that took the job to eliminate Overdose Gang is a bad news that even the maid is awesome. The boss of the Overdose Gang was in the same ogre class as Asahi, but he got his butt kicked up by a girl named Gloria, and she also heard about Asahi being the fastest guy to be promoted to ogre class. She couldn't believe it, so she was about to expose Asahi in public. Asahi was invited to that village. They wanted to show their gratitude for saving them for the second time from goblins, and the village elder then requested him for help. There was this other goblin threatening them, and Asahi was right at the perfect time because those monster had shown up again. It is an older brother of the three orc brothers, and he got there to have his revenge from Asahi. As they clashed their swords, Asahi was beaten back, and monsters were about to attack the villagers then. That made Kuno and Gloria step in. They were quietly observing Asahi until now, but they couldn't sit back anymore, and Gloria has finally seen Asahi is faking his rank. Gloria first took out the orc and insulted Asahi, but when that little girl stood up for Asahi, Gloria thought Asahi was playing with their emotions. Suddenly, her maid saved her from a deadly attack, but that attack had blown away her panties, so she backs off for now. While leaving, she challenges Asahi to a duel to expose him, and this news spread out like wildfire, because Asahi was the quickest to rank up to ogre class, and everyone was eager to witness this match. But Asahi was on the verge of breaking down. Maya was always there in the background to support him, but Kuno arrives to keep an eye on Maya and Kilmaria. Then the duel between those two began, and Asahi was playing it on the defensive side, and was dodging her attack. Seeing that Kilmaria was about to help out, Kuno was all ready to stop her, but Kilmaria then snaps at Kuno and started releasing her demon aura. But Maya stopped her in time and told her to believe in Asahi, and her faith in Asahi was correct. He used his magic to blind Gloria and win the match without striking her. Gloria can't understand why Asahi didn't raise his sword, but Asahi was a man who never raised his hand on women. Hearing this, she ran away from her shyness, but Asahi can't understand that now that even Gloria has fallen for him. As the story continues, Kilmaria was drunk as usual and began pestering Asahi, but Maya threw her away so they could work on their new quest, and told Kilmaria to look after the house. But on their way, the troublemaker showed up again. Sophie wanted to tag along for a finding job, so Sophie thinks she is an expert at finding things. She showed them her holy technique, but it was just a crappy guess she made from her staff. Then in the forest, the way was divided, and Sophie wanted to pair up with Asahi. But if that happens, she will find out that Asahi is just a weakling, and not to mention she attracts trouble like a magnet, so Maya took her away after sensing something. Then while he was alone, Asahi got attacked by a group of goblins, and Kilmaria makes a perfect entry to save his little bro Asahi. She was on guard duty, but she followed him because she was bored at home, and that's why Maya sensed and left Asahi alone. Because she knew Kilmaria was following them, Kilmaria had concealed her presence, but Maya sensed her. That means that whenever Asahi have a wet dream at night, Maya can hearing everything. But then they heard screams of several people, so Asahi and Kilmaria followed it, and ended up in a village where people's soul has been sucked out of them by a demon. He attacked Asahi, but this time he was holding out against them. But that demon just started sucking out his soul, so Kilmaria steps in to prevent it. That demon recognized that now he's in the presence of a demon general, Kilmaria, so he persuaded her to kill even more human, and the starting point would be from Asahi. But Asahi stopped him and spoke up for Kilmaria that she isn't a cruel girl who would take anyone's life for fun. It gave her tingling feeling in her heart that Asahi cares about her, but that demon ignored his word and tries to coax Kilmaria into killing Asahi. But that made her steadily angry that he wants to harm Asahi. For that he was burned down to ashes, and the souls he stole had returned back to their body. Then they met up with these two, and first of all, Maya checked out Asahi to make sure he's not hurt anywhere. Then she tells him that they found the flower they were looking for, but as usual Sophie had invited trouble her way, and Maya saved her. Then about Gloria, she decided to take on another job at the guild, and Asahi was there at the guild, getting the credit of his big sister's work yet again. Gloria meets him outside as she was trying to hold a conversation with him, but she wasn't able to do that out of shyness, so she called out her maid for help. Maid tried to make things easier for her by telling Asahi that Gloria wanted to meet with him so badly, but her embarrassment blocked Maid from saying anything else. Asahi assumed that Gloria is still suspecting him for falsifying his rank. She didn't mean it that way, but again out of her shyness, she made it up that she wants to test him, and for that he had to join them in their new quest. Then in the forest, Kuan gave her an idea to become romantic, but her wild power just makes things worse. She almost broke Asahi's arm for the second time. She strangled him to death, and for the third time Asahi got it rough. So he was surprised and also admired Kuan that she could keep up with Gloria. As she is then, deep in the wood they found their prey, and it was a monster tree. Gloria tries to make first move but actually got caught by it, but the way she was strangled Asahi, and Kuan could see her heavenly panties, it raised her embarrassment level, and her power level just broke off that she defeated that tree all on her own. After returning home, Gloria thinks that she screw everything, but Kuan tells her that Asahi liked their adventure. Then returning back from a hard day, Kilmaria and Maya were having their daily squabble. The episode begins with Asahi who was sleeping in his room when the maid enters and is surprised to find him there. She tells him that his older sister Maya instructed her to come in at any time. The maid then asks Asahi for a favor, and he reluctantly goes out to carry Gloria's luggage, which is very heavy. Asahi wonders what favor it is, as he never imagined it would involve helping with moving the house. The maid apologizes and thanks him for his help, stating that this is all he needs to carry from the inside, and now they only have to wait for their mistress to arrive. Then Asahi takes the vase and the maid informs him that it is an antique piece worth 1 million money, but then maid tells him that she was just joking. At that moment, Gloria arrives screaming at the maids to let her leave the house. After that, the head butler Sebastian comes and informs them that their mistress's irrational behavior will end here. Sebastian uses steel threads to restrain her movements and explains that he was an adventurer in his youth, allowing him to distract her with words and lose the opportunity for a direct attack. Asahi is surprised to see Sebastian using steel threads. Only strong characters can use specialized weapons like that. Gloria uses her power and throws it away into the water. Then Sebastian emerges from the water and speaks to her, as her father is very worried about her. He hopes she will reduce her adventurous actions and act more like a respectable member of the family. However, she is tired of flatterers and tea parties, so she decides to leave. Then they got into the carriage, and Gloria told Asahi that she feels truly embarrassed because he witnessed her family's problems. But Asahi is used to this, as he can say that his own family also has problems. Finally, they arrived at what Gloria considers her new base, the Brigandine family villa. Asahi was amazed by its beauty, but also angry because he felt she didn't need him. After that, Asahi and the girls began to bring everything into the villa. Then we see the head servant with a man who works as an adventurer of the dragon class. His name is Hildebrand, and he is 42 years old. The servant asked him to make Asahi experience some pain. Suddenly they saw a very large shadow, revealing that it is Maya. It appears that she intends to harm them because they want to fight her brother. Then they quickly escape from her while she continues to watch them. Kuan intervenes and sees Gloria pouring a lot of coffee for Asahi. She tells her that it seems Asahi has filled his stomach to the brim. She explains that she didn't know what she would do, so she continued pouring tea for him, not knowing what to say. Gloria suggests that he could live with them as a worker, or she could find a reason for him to visit this house regularly and create a clan using the mansion as its base. After that, Asahi talks to Tanya. She says that if he establishes a clan, she asks him what name he will give his clan because it's necessary to submit the application, and she assures him he won't regret establishing his own clan. Then Sophie appears and says that if he's going to establish a clan, she wants to be with him. Asahi responds that he hasn't decided on a name yet. Then Kuan tells him that Gloria doesn't have any friends or successors she can rely on, so being Asahi's friend would make her very happy. Asahi tells that she is Gloria's friend. She responds by saying she would be happy if he became her second. We now move to Asahi's sister, who is preparing dinner while Asahi sits in front of her contemplating the members of the clan. He thinks that Maya is the main in his party, but she thinks that he's wrong, because the way he cares for others and jumps in to save them despite being weak and also gaining the trust of Kuno and Gloria, it was all his own effort, and in this power does not matter. For the first time, Asahi cried out of happiness, but the moment of silence comes for him because he got petrified by a monster attack. So Kuno left to go to the pawn shop to find some helpful item, and Sophie left to get to the church, find some holy items as well. As Gloria left to hunt monster to find any useful drop item, and only Maya left, and she starts messing with him again in the bed. But then 3 of the ladies come in disappointed because they didn't got anything to cure Asahi's petrification. And Maya has a really evil idea that would torture a guy in puberty. That is to clean Asahi up with hot bath water. But they didn't know Asahi was totally conscious under that petrification and could see and hear everything. Maya took him out and tried to free him by the little fairy tale where a princess kiss would turn everything to normal. But there comes Kilmaria. She tackled her to stop her from pestering Asahi. In that state, she knew a healing spell, so with it she freed Asahi, and Maya realized by Kilmaria words that Asahi was conscious under that petrification and saw her naked in that bath. And this was the first time that Maya showed some ladylike behavior, as she got a bit shy inside her room. But after all that crazy time was over, Asahi he finally registered with party. We see a beach and a couple played in the sea. Suddenly a shark appeared that swam towards them. The woman froze in fear and was attacked by a half-human, half-shark monster. A few weeks later, Asahi found out about a new hunting quest. Tanya told the 2 siblings that sharks caused problems on the beach. Maya didn't understand why the adventurers couldn't defeat a weak shark, so Asahi explained that in an isekai world, sharks are strong and they also can fly. Maya was looking forward to the beach, and she imagined being passionate massaged by Asahi. Later on, they arrived at the beach, and Maya was disappointed because the other girls were accompanying them. Gloria's goal was to experience romance with Asahi. Then Tanya told that she escort them because Sophie said Asahi disappeared. Suddenly Kuan said they have a problem. The reason was, Gloria unwittingly defeated all the sharks when they arrived. As a result, their monster hunt quest was complete, and they could enjoy the day at the beach. Then they wanted to have fun, and Kuan had bathing suits for the girls in a suitcase. Later the girls showed up in swimsuits, and Asahi liked the design. After that, Maya wore a bikini, and she realized that her bikini didn't differ from her normal clothes. Then Gloria showed off her bikini, and Asahi blushed at the sight of her sexy bikini outfit. Kuan told Gloria that she got the most sexiest bikini to seduce Asahi. Suddenly Kilmaria appeared wearing a bikini I can't show. She was immediately attacked by Maya because she found her bikini too revealing. Then Kilmaria got angry because Maya is a pervert herself. After that, Kilmaria was forced to change into another bikini. Suddenly, Gloria wanted to organize a sports competition. Kuan said that Asahi is the prize, and he has to grant one of the girls a wish. As a result, the girls were already dreaming of seducing Asahi, and Asahi was scared. First, the girls played volleyball against each other, and they were all motivated. At the first competition, Maya and Kilmaria were the winners. After that, they had to collect a flag, and Tanya won the second game. As the final game, they were supposed to split a melon blind, but Sophie almost smashed Asahi's baller. Finally, the girls learned that Maya is the winner. Following this, Asahi massaged his big sister with baby oil, and Kilmaria wanted a massage too. Suddenly, Tanya and Sophie were surrounded by sharks. Then we see the two girls threatened by the sharks. A flying flame shark said he wanted to avenge his siblings. Gloria enraged the shark, and he called more of his friends. After that, Asahi's group was attacked, but the girls immediately cast powerful spells. Then an enemy shark tried to sneaky attack Asahi. Asahi was in despair, and he used his light spell to defeat him. Meanwhile, Gloria and Kuan fought against the other sharks. They combined their spells and created a powerful tornado which instantly defeated the enemies. Suddenly, a shark tried to attack Maya, but Asahi tried to protect his big sister. He was thrown into the whirlpool, and Maya tried to save Asahi. Afterwards, Asahi was saved and he woke up on an island. Maya was happy that her little brother wasn't injured. However, Asahi learned that they are on an uninhabited island. Maya said he doesn't have to worry because Kilmaria will surely be able to find them. Afterwards, Asahi wanted to go gather food and water, and he wanted to enjoy the time with Maya on the island. Then Asahi and his sister were looking for water, and they found a river. Also, Maya cut up a giant tree, and she chopped the tree into firewood. In the afternoon, they went fishing, and Asahi had a lot of fun. Asahi used his stone throw skill, and he was able to catch a bird after that. Maya prepared delicious dishes for lunch. They both had a lot of fun at lunch and laughed together. In the evening, they were at the beach, and Asahi said that they have experienced a lot since arriving in the isekai world. Asahi asked if Maya likes their new life. She replied that as long as she can be by his side, she always has fun. Followed, he said he was a bit scared alone at first, but when Maya showed up, he was very happy. He thanked Maya for always supporting him. After that, Asahi said he was cold, and Maya tried to seduce her little brother again. As the sun went down, a flying shark appeared. The great king shark was angry because his friends were beat up by Asahi's party. Suddenly, Kilmaria appeared, and she arrived with reinforcements. The monster was immediately attacked by Asahi's team. Asahi was surprised to see all his friends. Suddenly, Asahi learned that Maya wished to spend a full day on an abandoned island with Asahi. The girls just watched and listened to all the romantic conversations. Suddenly, the great king shark looked down on the humans and called all his friends for backup. All sharks transformed, and they weren't normal monsters. They were a cross between a Power Ranger and a shark. As a result, they transformed into a shark Megazord, who were ready to defeat the enemies. Asahi was shocked and didn't know if the enemy is a Transformer or a Megazord. Then Maya got angry, and she wanted to destroy the shark robot. She cast a powerful lightning spell and parted the sea. Kilmaria was shocked because Maya possessed the power of gods to split up the sea. Then Maya wanted to use all power because the sharks ruined her mood, followed by she launched a huge fireball spell at the enemy. In her attack burned the sharks to grilled fish, and the Megazord was instantly destroyed. After the fight, Kilmaria and Maya argued. Meanwhile, Asahi enjoyed the nice weather with Tanya. A few weeks later, Asahi experienced a rainy day, and the two big sisters said that until the rain stopped, they could kiss passionately. Asahi used his escape spell. Then we see a witch who caused the rainy day. The next morning, the rain stopped, and the whole street was flooded with water. Suddenly, a slime from the water attacked Asahi. Maya immediately cut off the slime's arm, and Asahi was saved. Suddenly, the slime tried to choke Asahi. Maya and Kilmaria started to arguing. As a result, Asahi freed himself, and they realized that the whole town was being infested with the slime. As Asahi went to help the villagers, he saw Tanya being attacked by a slime. Asahi immediately rescued Tanya, and she thanked Asahi with a hug. Maya learned that the slimes caused a lot of damage. Asahi and Maya suspected an enemy was trying to attack the city. After that, Tanya said that Roy went out to play in the morning and he might be in danger. Asahi promised he would save Roy, so Tanya was able to help evacuate the villagers. Subsequently, Maya planned to attack all the slime. Kilmaria had the same idea, and Asahi said that they aren't allowed to destroy the whole town. Suddenly, the two sisters felt the aura of the enemy. Meanwhile, Tanya helped the villagers, and a spell was activated. Monsters attacked the residents, but the Balmung clan protected them in time. Then a fire spell was cast to defeat the flying monsters. They also destroyed the magic portal, and the residents thanked them. After that, more monsters appeared through a magical portal. Then we see Roy hiding from the monsters with a girl. Roy couldn't escape because the girl was injured. Suddenly, Asahi appeared and Roy was glad to see his favorite adventurer. Asahi praised him for protecting the girl all along. Later, they looked for a way together, but monsters appeared. They were surrounded by huge slime snakes and Asahi couldn't protect all of them. They were rescued at the last moment by a previous ogre rank adventurer. Asahi was surprised that his former enemy had protected him. After that, another slime snake appeared, and Siegfried rushed to the rescue. Siegfried said that the fight is not over because they have to destroy the core of the slime. Then Siegfried trusted Asahi to find a safety place and destroy the slime core. Meanwhile, Siegfried wanted to stop the slime monsters. Then we see Tanya, and she asked the nobles for help, but no one opened the gate. Meanwhile, Asahi was looking for a safety place, and they found a cathedral. After that, Tanya had the idea to get some help by Gloria's family, but slimes attacked them on their way. Then we see Asahi in the cathedral, and the girl thanked Asahi. Meanwhile, Sophie healed all the injured residents. She was exhausted, but she didn't give up helping people. When Sophie met Asahi, she almost fell over from exhaustion. Followed, Sophie began to heal the hurt girl. Suddenly, one of the adventurers from Sophie's previous group howled. She healed the injured adventurer, and they looked down on Sophie. Sophie taught them a lesson, and she was angry that they were scaring the townsfolk. After that, Asahi wanted to find the slime core, but he was worried. The adventurers said that they are ready to protect the citizens. We then see Tanya in front of Gloria's family mansion. Also, many monsters appeared trying to hurt the residents. Meanwhile, the witch was laughing, but she was located by Maya and Kilmaria, who wanted to destroy her immediately. Meanwhile, Gloria wanted to allow the residents to take refuge in the property, but Sebastian refused. He had the duty to protect their mansion. Gloria was able to convince him to allow the residents to take refuge in her estate. Gloria then opened the gate, and she was happy to see Tanya. Tanya reported that Asahi is looking for Roy in the middle of the city. Suddenly, a monster tried to attack Tanya, but Hildebrand showed up in time. He was able to save Tanya, despite looking like a pervert. Then the two big sisters wanted to beat up the demon general Grilligula. She asked Kilmaria if she had betrayed the demon king. After that, the witch got angry, and she cast a powerful fire spell against Maya. Asahi was in town, and he was desperately looking for the slime core. Then Gloria appeared, and he was happy to see the two girls, so Kuan used her abilities to find the slime core. Kuan tracked down the slime core. Meanwhile, the witch Grilligula was shocked that Maya survived her attack. Suddenly, Kilmaria attacked the witch with a spell, and she was severely injured by Kilmaria's strong fire spell. The witch managed to survive the attack. As a reward, Maya wanted to show her one of her spells. Kilmaria was scared and immediately ran away, so Maya defeated instantly the demon general with a strong attack. Meanwhile, Asahi's group attempted to destroy the slime core. The slime was too fast. Suddenly, the slime tried to hide his core in the sky. Asahi asked Gloria for a favor, and she was happy to support him, so Asahi was thrown into the sky, and he tried to reach the slime core. As the slime tried to move down his core, he threw a rock at him. Everyone believed in the hero Asahi, and he managed to hit the core with his stone, so he defeated the legendary slime monster, and Asahi fell to the concrete floor. Maya immediately flew to Asahi, and she was able to catch him in time before was injured. All residents and adventurers of the city were saved. They were happy, and Asahi wondered where the slime went to. The slime disappeared into a hole with the defeated enemy. In the evening, Asahi was promoted to golem rank. Also, everyone wanted to celebrate Asahi's victory, and they ate Maya's homemade dishes. After that, the girls wanted to reward Asahi, and they started fighting. Later, Asahi found his sister outside, and he thanked Maya for being a great big sister. She blushed and tried to kiss Asahi. Suddenly, Gloria was crying, and all the girls wanted to kiss Asahi too. And that's where the season ends. Tell me your thought about this anime in the comments. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I will bring more exciting anime in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.